So, you're a blooming artist working on your skills day and night, on the quest to find ways to make this wonderful skill set one that can make you money. I'm right there with you. Learning any kind of VTubing skill like creating PNG tubers, using the program Live2D, oh, that's a lot of work. Making 3D models in Blender or VRoid is an extremely valuable tool set to have as an artist, and I want to start harnessing and building and growing that skill within you even further. There are many sites out there where you can sell your work, but I recently stumbled across one I particularly really like and think has a great aesthetic and opportunity for you to grow, and it's called VGen. In full disclaimer, this is not a sponsored video. I just liked it so much that I was like, I have to share it, so now I'm sharing it. Before I knew it, my VTuber friend, shout out to the wonderful 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸, gave me a code to join, and I dove into the rabbit hole. I'm gonna show you how VGen works and give you a full walkthrough so that you can begin selling your art and make some money. Alright, so we're gonna start off by making an account. I'm gonna walk you through step by step. Of course, this is my current account, but I'm gonna make one for the demo. So we'll go up to sign up. You can join with Twitter or X, Twitch, or email. I'm gonna sign up with email for the demo. And first you'll start with your username. So this is gonna be like your URL. Yo, I'm trying to record a YouTube. No, I'm just kidding. It was my mom. Oh, that's so sweet. She said, happy therapeutic Tuesday. New day. Tuesday, Thursday mix. Wow. Okay. Alright, so you'll use your username here. I'm going to use the name of one of my OCs, which is Lunary, just for the test account, and then you'll put in your birthday. You'll never know my birthday! No, I'm just kidding. I'll put my birthday in. Fun fact, you can check out my P.O Box number in the description if you want to send anything. Just saying, wink wink. Alright, and then my email, I'm just going to use a test email here. Okay, and then we'll do send verification code. So then you will have to check your email to activate your account. So I'll wait for you to do that. Okay, so your email will look something like this, and you'll copy and paste that code over into VGen. So we're just gonna go ahead and paste, and now you'll come up with a password, and then you'll have to select I have an artist code or not. So this is a part about VGen that is a little interesting. There's other sites out there I've heard of, like Toy House, and I'm sure there's more out there where you do need an invite code. So that is something to start creating commissions that you're going to need. If you don't, you won't select this and you'll just agree to the terms and such. But if you have a code, this is where you're gonna put your code. Now, I would recommend reaching out to some of your VTuber artist friends that maybe use VGen if you're looking for a code in order to get that. And sadly, I am not able to give that to you, but this is one of the caveats with the site, but that's one of the pieces that helps make it a bit more safe and a bit more reliable. So once you get your code, then you can continue from here. All right, and now that I'm in, I'm gonna go to my artist dashboard up here. It may be directing you and giving you some other pieces on screen as you are new, but the main place we'll want to go to is our quests. So I'm gonna walk you through every piece, of course, but the first thing that we're really gonna want to buckle down is getting through the grand opening quest. So if you click the drop down here, it's gonna show you these different pieces you need in order to unlock discovery on VGen. So the reason discovery is so incredibly important is because you'll get on the main page here where people can search certain terms. So you can see like these tags here, like illustration, surprise me, VTuber model art, Live2D rigging, stuff like that. And when people search for those terms, you have a possibility of popping up. So this is really helpful because it can help artists who are trying to get found, oh my gosh, words. Artists who are trying to get found, it's a little bit easier for them to get found with having this tagging system. So that's one of the strengths that VGen does have. So that's why it's so important for us to get through this grand opening quest so that we can unlock discovery on VGen. So the first part is going to be to personalize your profile. So you will update your profile picture, and how you can do that is you can go to your profile, and you click edit profile, and it might walk you again through some of these in the beginning, and then you're going to select your profile picture. I selected one of Star Guardian Syafire, of course, and then you can put a background as well. I recommend having a banner. The more you can personalize and utilize your art to make your profile look beautiful, the better chances you have at getting commissions and people trusting you. So that's a huge aspect. And then you can change your username here, but make sure to change it in other places if you have it like linked on your Twitter, because it's not going to automatically change that link anywhere. And keep in mind that you can upload GIFs as well for your profile picture, for your banner, which is pretty awesome. Next, you'll create your display name. I made mine Syafire with the capital S, of course, and then you'll type in a bio. I recommend adding a few things that might be able to credit you or give you sort of a background. You can say like illustrator, VTuber model, and I like using these little dots, which you can find on Google if you just Google like bullet point. So we go here, bullet point, copy and paste, and then you can copy this and then paste that. So that's what I do to make mine look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. And you'll also want to make a work queue link, which I'll get into later for how to do that, and and how I utilize my Trello board. A very simple setup. Alright, so let's talk really quickly about how to add a work queue link. So we're going to go to our profile up here, the little 3 dots or 3 dashes, and then click settings. And then you're going to go to edit profile. And here's where your work queue link is going to be. You can use anything that you want to kind of manage showing off where you're at. This is basically just a line of communication with you and your client saying, this is how far I am with some people's work, this is where your project is at, things like that. People just have a visual or a good understanding of when their work is going to be complete or done. So I'm going to do a mini Trello tutorial. I'm not going to dive too into the nitty gritty, just give a basic overview. So once you create a Trello account, you're going to go up to create up here, and you're going to click create board. Now I'm just going to open my board here. You can get back to your boards by finding this section here. I'm going to go ahead and open my board, and here are different cards. Basically, you can move all this stuff around. It's really great for project management. I literally use it for everything. So I'm just going to give some examples. So you can add a new card by clicking add another list, and we'll just do wait list 1, and then we'll do work in progress. Oops, progress, and then we'll do, well, I spelled that wrong, progress, and then completed. And to add another card, you just click this here, and we can say like full chibi art or something like this. And if you want to get it colorful like that, you can open the card, go to cover, and select a color here. And if you want that full look like I have, you can go here, or if you want like it shows kind of both, you can have that. So I'm just going to click the full one. And if you want emojis, you can find those online and copy paste them into the name up here. And next we'll just do like chibi 1. Say this is, wow, I am the spelling today. The typing. Just say that says chibi 1, and then maybe we have like chibi 2. Okay, and when you open a card, there's a ton of different things you can do. I'm not going to dive into each one, but something basic that can help you is just the checklist. So we click checklist, click add, and then we'll do like payment 1, and I'm just clicking enter, which will give me another line. Payment 2, and then we'll go up here, create another checklist, and then I'll do like coloring sketch, and then we'll do base color, and then we'll do final render. And then you can go through and check these off. So basically when people are outside of this, they can see that you have 2 out of 5 done, or they can click into your card like I'm doing to see where you're at. And of course you can move it down the line all the way until you get to completed. If you want to add attachments or any extra imagery, you can go to attachment and click choose a file, or you can just drag and drop it, I believe as well. So a lot of these things I'll leave to you exploring on your own. And of course, if you're interested in some type of Trello tutorial, leave a comment and I'd be happy to do so, as this is my bread and butter. Okay, and for getting the link, you'll go up to share, and then you'll make sure anybody can join as a member and click copy link. So now you have your link copied to your clipboard, and then we head back to VGen and you can paste that in your work queue link and then click done. So then when people are on your profile seeing all your beautiful art, if they want to see where your queue is at, they can open the work queue over here. So this is great to communicate with your client, communicate with potential clients if they even want to consider commissioning you. Okay, let's move forward. And then put out all your links here. So I'd recommend linking as much as you can, again, so that people can find you, they can understand if they can trust you with their commissions and with their art. Lots of things to verify that you are the artist, that this is your work. Add as many links as you can, and especially your portfolio will be a key one. So if you're gonna do this, you'll add a link. You can paste the link, blah, 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 and then name whatever you want the name of the link to be. And then here you can display your local time on your profile so people know what your time zone is. That could be helpful if you're putting something on your work queue board like I work business hours from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or something like that, so then they can know like, are you possibly working on the commission or not. So that could be helpful for your customers so that they know when you're working. All right, and then of course you can add languages as well, which can be helpful if there are specific languages that you speak for different clients that you're working with. So once you complete your profile, we'll head back over to our quests. This is going to pretty much complete your personalize your profile. You only need 2 links, but I recommend again adding as many as you possibly can. And this is a pretty interesting note too. If you are offering any illustration commissions, please make sure your profile picture and banner only include illustrations created by you and not that with a third party, even credit. So it's very important. They say that your picture has to be created by you. So that is an important note to keep in mind. Okay, and the next is getting ready for commission. So it wants you to add 2 services, add 5 portfolio showcases, link 2 portfolio showcases to existing services, and connect PayPal. So I'm going to walk you through that step next. So for services, we'll go down to the commissions area here and click services. And something that's interesting to keep in mind is to get verified, which is our next goal on the quest and something that will help you a ton, you can only, when you start on VGen, you can actually only have up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 services, but you will unlock unlimited services once you get verified. And I'll talk about verification in a little bit. So the first thing that you can do is you can create folders if you want to section out your different areas. So you create a folder and you have an area, like here I have fully rendered illustrations, sketches, and Twitch streaming. And I'm hoping to have more once I get verified, and you can move these around. So you have these dots here where you can move everything around, which is very convenient. And same for your services themselves. You can move them around here. So we're going to be doing a test service. So I'm just going to delete one I already have because like I said, I can only have 5 max right now. So let's go ahead and delete the full body rendered illustration one. And now I'm going to go ahead and add a service. And this is what it looks like when you start a service. So I'm going to choose which category it's in. Remember the folder we made earlier? This is what we're choosing here. So I'm just going to put it in fully rendered illustrations. You can choose your status here if you want it to be open, to put people on waitlist, have them closed, or you can also save it as a draft or just unlisted. So if you're not ready to post it yet. So it's pretty nice that you have all those options. And then next we have these slots. So this would be how many are you going to take before people go on a wait list, right? So for me, probably 2 is going to be a good amount. You want to make sure you're scheduling it and not overwhelming and overloading yourself. So after 2, you can say this is what's going to happen. So after 2, they're going to go on the wait list. Okay, I'm going to click save and you'll choose what your start time, and you can choose the start time and end time here, but I usually don't worry about that because I try to handle that on a commission by commission basis because I have no idea what's in my queue or what's in my slot. So I'll talk a little bit more about that later. And of course you can have the notify followers to status change, and if it's sensitive content, so anything that might be NSFW, something like that, you would mark it as a sensitive content. All right, and then there's a choose a category. So you can, first off, you can choose if you want it to be hidden in the marketplace or discoverable. And next we'll choose the category. So I'm going to do, you can see there's a ton of different categories here. It's pretty cool, this site, because you can offer things, so many different things. And you can even do advice, so like coaching, like marketing advice, streaming advice. So there are literally so many different services you can offer, which is really cool. That's what I love about this site. We're gonna go to illustrations, character illustrations, and next is the subject. So what do you want to draw? Some people don't like to draw specific things, so someone might really not like or feel comfortable drawing robots or mechs, so then you wouldn't check this. But for me, I'm gonna go ahead and check all of the above because I'm pretty open to drawing. And then next is the movement. So is it going to be something that is ready for animation? Is it already going to be animated? Or is this a static post? And most of the time it's static unless you're doing any kind of like more advanced animation. For the crop, since this is a full body, this is going to give just extra info to them. We already said we're doing a full body, so that's why we're going to select this one here. And then for the background, you can do simple, complex, or none. And you can give more details about these pieces depending on what you offer a little bit later in the process. So I'm just going to click for the background, simple. And we're going to choose a style. So this is what art style that you're drawing this in, because you might have multiple art styles that you want to choose from. For me, I'm going to put a semi-realistic because I kind of do a mix between anime and realism. And then for technique, so they understand what they're getting, this is going to be a painted and fully rendered piece of art. And this will again just depend on what you're making. So I'll go ahead and click save. And next is the service type. Is it fully custom? So do you make everything from scratch, or a YCH? I actually didn't learn about YCHs until recently. So here is a question about what is a YCH commission, which I'm actually curious because I'd never read the definition. So your character here. Oh, see, I didn't know that's what it stands for. We learned together on the Sapphire Star. So basically it is, so a YCH is basically like a template or something that's like maybe you have a little chibi emote holding a heart and it's in the same exact pose, but you're just going to replace it with whatever that person's character looks like. So a YCH is usually a little bit cheaper because it's made from a template like this says, but you're just putting the features in of that person's character. So we're going to put fully custom. And then the communication style. This is pretty cool too. There is a standard and a surprise me. So for the standard, this is where you allow the client to talk with you and you get to choose. And for the surprise me, this is really fun because this would be not really much contact at all with your client. They'll just commission you and you get to surprise them. So I'm going to go ahead and click standard for this one. And then next you're going to name your service. So I'm going to do full body rendered illustration. And USD or whatever currency you want, you can select here for it to be paid in. And this is for the base price. I'm going to type in 300 for my base price, and then we're going to keep going forward. And then here's samples. So this is examples of when you've done this before. So I'm going to go ahead and add one of mine here. There it is. And then we're going to click this camera button for this one and do the same thing. And you can also link an actual YouTube video if you want to show like a speed paint or something like that. And if you want to get rid of them, you can click the X, and depending on what you want to show up as like the cover image, you want it to be the first one, and you can switch them around by grabbing these little dots here. And you can also take out the blurred background of the same color if you'd like to by clicking that button. And you can add as many images as you want if you want to show like close-up, detail shots, stuff like that. And next is the description. So this is what pretty much everything includes. VGen gives you a base of what you can build off of, but you can literally type anything in here. So something I actually recommend if you're unsure of what to put in here is going to look at other artists' page and starting a pretend request form on their page and then see what they're putting so you can kind of do something similar. I have a base here. You can feel free to reference mine or check them out for what to put, but I'll put the starting price here. So I'm just going to change this to 300, and I'll usually talk about how much time I put into these. So like for a full body, I probably put around 30 hours into these, and then I'll say full body paintings, my style's rendered. So I just talk about why it's this price if people are not understanding. And then what I want people to send me before the commission request. I think this is pretty important if you need them to provide reference photos. So for me, I'm not doing character design from scratch for these, so I request reference photos of the person's character. And then for the scene, if they want a specific scene, I want them to write a description. But for this one, I'm not doing a scene. It's going to be simple scene, and then I'm just going to do a dash. Tell me what basic color you want for the background. I'll just put any complex backgrounds will increase the price. Okay, which I basically had that. And then I talk about the canvas size, where they don't have to give me the dimensions, but they're more than welcome to if they want. And then I talk about the 3 stages of the process here, which I do a sketch stage, base color stage, and final rendering. And then you'll want to put the final deliverables. What kind of files are they receiving? So I put a PNG file, multiple zoomed in moments showing high quality parts, a signed version and an unsigned version. And then of course, if people have questions, then they can ask them. So the next thing that's pretty important is you have a max of 5 tags you can add per that service, and you want to put these relevant to what the service is. So if you start typing in something, you'll see that there's an autofill, an autofill that pops up, and you want to take advantage of these autofills because this means this is what people are looking up on VGen, and you want to show up when people are looking a specific term or like word up. So we'll put like illustration, we'll just put illustration in there, and I'll do like full color. Here we go. Full color, full body. All right. And then we'll try again a full color, full render. And then we can do a full body, character full body. See, so again, these are going to be some tags that you're going to want to add. Okay, so there's some tags that we'll try out for this one. Next, you'll move on to your request form. You can choose from your existing forms, and I actually already have one that I made, so I'm just going to select this one, but in your case, you want to click create new. And I'm actually going to go back and make sure I name this the same thing I had it before, so full body, full rendered illustration. And for this is what the user who is requesting a commission is going to see on their end. So you have the form name, you can put a personal note if you would like. They just fill in an auto thing for this, which I think is fine. And then I would recommend collecting as much info from them as you can. And you don't necessarily need to make them required, but you can. That option is there for you. And how will you be using this work? If some artists like to charge additional costs for commercial assets, which basically means the person can utilize your art for like printing a shirt later down the line and selling it, or showing it on stream, right? Or content use. So if people want to make prints of your artwork and sell it at an artist alley or something like that, that's what these are. And sometimes artists will charge extra for someone using something for personal, or for someone using something for commercial use. So that's important to keep in mind. And you can add other ones in here, add options if you want to. This one I put in as required because that is pretty important. So we want the reference and files as well for people to upload their files. And then if they have a hard deadline, they'll tell you what their deadline might be. And then if they have any extra info. And then you can go down here and you can add any of your own like choices, or you can add a long text or short text. So something that's like shorter, like a question. You can add and customize this any kind of way that you want, depending on what you require as an artist. So I'll leave that to you. And of course, if you have questions, you can let me know in the comments. And then we'll go next to terms of service, and you can create a new policy similar to the request form or choose another one. I already have a policy again that I created for this. And here are mine. I don't really do a ton of policies, but again, you can reference somebody else's policies, and you can even ask something like ChatGPT like to write you a policy for art, for your art. So I think this is pretty good. I just pretty much say no reposting my work or claiming it as your own, but you can tag me. And I talk about payments, which are really important. Like for me, I take the payment the first half before I even start the commission, and then I take the second half midway through. So I don't even finish and give them the commission till they finish paying. So that's how I run my payment system. And then please contact me for any revisions. I usually don't do major revisions, but I'm always open to discussion. Your policy may be different. For me, I usually don't take them, and I also don't have refunds. And right now, I'm not charging extra for commercial use. I'm just letting people use it, however, but that will probably change for me in the future. But anyways, there's your terms of service. That's everything you have to fill out here. It takes quite a bit of time, but it's okay because it's really worth it. And then you can like duplicate and copy, and it gets faster. Pretty much it's going to take the longest to make your first one, and then you're just going to get faster and faster because you kind of have these pieces put together. So let me click, we can click save policy, and then we can do publish. And then once it's published, I'll just click do later. I have it down here, and as you can see again, whichever the drawing that I have, you can just click on it again if you want to open it and edit it. And the front is going to be there. So now if I go back to VGen and I go to my profile, then we'll see this here. We have the fully rendered illustration, and they can flip through, and then they can look at the work here, and this is what they see. So upon commission request, they pretty much accept everything. There are your revisions, and then they start the request, which is where the user is going to submit all the information that we looked at earlier. So that's what it looks like for the user on their end. Now let's go back to our artist dashboard and continue through some of the other pieces. So say you've added all of your different services here, and again, you can only have 5 until you get verified, which we will talk about. We go to our commissions tab, and this is going to show you pretty much everything that is in your queue. So you can mark a project as a work in progress, you can mark a project as complete, and you can see these ones are ready, but I didn't start them yet. So once I start them, I'll click this button here called Mark as WIP. And once I'm done with this one, I'll click Final Delivery, where I'll upload all the final files, pretty much say the last pieces that I need to say. I haven't used this button before, but it looks like an archive button, and I'm not about to accidentally archive one of my clients' posts, so I'm not going to try it now. But here is your wait list too, if you have people who go on wait lists like we talked about earlier. Client to do. So this is when so basically what happens when somebody submits a request is it comes into your attention, and you get to review their request. You can look at their files, and you can see like what are they requesting and what are their reference photos, and you can talk about the scope here. So basically giving them any extra details and information, and you can this is where you would select if you want them to pay 100% upfront or if you want them to do a payment plan. So you can have them do either, and you can also charge taxes down here. And once you have all that ready, you send it back to the client, and that's when it goes under the client to do section. They're going to get back, and they're going to be like, okay, I got to review and see if I really want this commission. And then if they review it and they make their first payment, it will go back into your attention list. And then pause is if you needed to pause commissions for any reason. So again, you can go to the status here and you can click pause. And if somebody pays more or something, you could also do prioritize. So those are your 3 buttons here. And then completed is going to be anything that you finish. So you can kind of have a full queue of what you've already worked on and what's happened with that. And then all just shows everything that you pretty much have ever have. And oh, here's the archived section. Now we know. If that's probably if something happens with the commission or you stopped doing it, but you want to keep track that it was a thing at one point. So I'm sure that's what archived is for. Okay, next is just forms here, which is all the forms we looked at. These are like my inactive ones that I've made in the past that I'm not using. These are in use, and these are all. So everything is pretty easy to go through. And if you want to do one separate from making your services, you can do a new one here, and same exact thing for the policy as well. And it looks like they're making a shop, which I'm excited about, where you can probably sell like pre-made artwork. That's going to be awesome. I don't know too much about it. I haven't looked into it, but that's what I'm hoping that is. Anyways, let's go back up to our portfolio. So in our quest, we did see under grand opening that for getting ready for commissions, we added our 2 services, and we also want to add 5 portfolio showcases. So I'll hop to portfolio and show you that. And then you'll link your portfolio showcases to 2 existing services and connect your PayPal so you can receive payment. So once we go to our portfolio, you can go ahead and click new, and it's a pretty similar walkthrough. You just don't have all the extra policies and shenanigans from making a service. So you'll title your piece, you'll go ahead and drop it in. So if I want to show off this piece, for example, we'll call her Void Saya. void Syafire, and then you can write a description, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And again, you have all these tools down here to make it look beautiful as well. And then you'll add tags here, and the difference with your portfolio is how people are really gonna discover you. You add a ton of work, and you can max do 20 tags compared to the 5. So remember, when you create a service, you could only use 5 tags, but for a portfolio piece, you can add up to 20 tags. So I would recommend going in here and filling all that out. I'm not going to right now for the sake of this video. And what it was asking us for the grand opening quest was to link a commission service. So we go over here, turn this on, and then you can link this to a service. So this was the one we just made, which is my full body, full rendered illustration. So people know, hey, I like this piece, I want something like this. Then it will link them directly to the service so they know what they're getting. So we'll go ahead and we'll click publish. And now this is also in my portfolio. All right, and then next is going to be your wallet, which is going to show you where all your transactions are that have happened in the past. And you can link your PayPal here as well. For VGen payments, once you're verified, you can link that. I'm not sure exactly how that works, again, because I'm not verified, but I'm assuming that it's more of like a safer way to pay through VGen rather than having like an internal PayPal. And PayPal charges you extra, so fees and services and stuff, so there might be a difference there, but I'm not sure. But if you know, feel free to let me know in the comments. So I just went to the settings button there and clicked on PayPal, and it shows that my PayPal is connected. So I'm just going to click and go back, and then I'm going to go to my quests and go to grand opening again. So you should have completed now everything for your commissions. Now we'll do help clients find you, which is adding your VGen link to your Twitter bio and card, which I've done that already. You will tag all your services, so it actually helps you and makes sure like I didn't even realize you actually do have to tag your work, your services to finish grand opening, tag your showcases as well, which was everything in your portfolio, and making sure that your sensitive content is properly tagged. And after you have done all that, your grand opening should be complete and people should be able to find you publicly. Now the next stage that we want to aim for, which is what I'm aiming for right now, and hopefully I can make another video once I'm verified to talk about this, is the get verified section. So this earns your badge. You get a little verification badge next to your name that looks like this, which makes you more official. And then you can add as many services and showcases you want. You can invite people. That's how you get the code I mentioned earlier. And you're going to show up first in the discovery page, which is the home page. So the first requirement you have to hit is 10 followers. I think this isn't too bad. If you have some artist friends, you can ask them if you live stream. You can also ask your followers to go follow you on VGen. That's what I did to hit my 10. And for 100 USD earnings in the last 30 days, this is all going to really depend on how you price your commissions, so that's going to be up to you on how to manage that. Next is the 4.6 plus artist rating. I actually had one of my clients write a review, and thankfully they gave me a 5-star. It was so nice of them, and they wrote a really great review, so I'd hit that. And I didn't even realize, I thought you needed like 3 of these, so I just had one person review and give the stars, and I got the check mark for that one. But you do need 3 reviews total from different clients. So I have 1 out of 3 so far, and I'm working on getting my other 2. Shout out to all of my clients who've been commissioning you. I appreciate you guys so much. You're amazing. And once I hit this, then I'll unlock that badge and get prioritized. So that should be the goal, is to get verified. I bet you can do it. I believe in you. And yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know for VGen. There's other settings and stuff that you can find that's pretty traditional to like other sites. And if you're looking or searching for any work, you can browse these categories and again, just get ideas for what other people are doing. I really love this site, and I think it's a great opportunity to make money as a VTuber artist. Now, if you're interested in making VTuber models yourself from scratch, I actually have a full series and tutorial on how to do that, and that would be a really good, valuable service that you would be able to sell on a site like VGen. I'll see you next time on the Sapphire Star. Bye!